What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Dom Church 97 in this bitch, and I'm here today to bring you another banger. And honestly, I'm just here to speak my mind, man. Before I get into all that, I just want to go over something real quick. For now, one of my videos like this, I'm gonna have y'all go in the comment section, and I'm gonna call it the question of the day, something simple. Even though I'm not uploading daily, you know, I'm just have a question of the day. Question of the day. It is, what is your definition of a bust? Because that's what we're talking about. I would love to read your comments, get feedback, debate, argue, whatever you want to do. Just go in the comment section, let me know what your definition of a bust in the NBA is, and let's get into it. Now, first and foremost, I just want to say personally, I feel like my definition of a bust is way different than anyone else's. From a lot of people that I know, the YouTubers, just other people that love basketball, their definition of a bust tends to be when a player doesn't live up to the expectations given usually by the media and the fans. For me though, I feel like it's more of a production thing. Like, are you producing? Can you actually play? Are you what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say are you worthy, but are you worthy to be in the NBA? That's my definition of a bust. Because let's use this for example. You got three players: Kwame Brown, Anthony Bennett, Andrea Bargnani. All three of these players have been dubbed as bust. But Andrea Bargnani, sorry, I'm not redoing this. I'm one take drinking this shit all the way. Andrea Bargnani has had plenty of seasons where he's produced. He's put up points, he's done things for his team to help them win, even if they weren't really that successful. Still, he was a productive player in his time. Now, yes, he didn't play like a #1 pick, but at the same time, the media hyped him up to be the next Dirk. And that's where I feel like the expectation factor really is a problem, because it's not fair, especially to a lot of foreign players. When foreign guys come over to the league, it's like you're either Dirk or you're a bust, and that's it. Like, there's no middle ground. Like, when a foreign guy tries to carve his way in the middle ground between a Hall of Fame level player, he ends up being a bust. It's very rare you get a foreign guy that has a productive career and is not really a all-star level, like a role player that you won't consider a bust. Is rare for a foreign guy. They have to be all-stars, they have to be superstars at some point in their career to be considered good, and that's not fair. There's plenty of American ballers that go in the league that get drafted high, that don't produce, that are just basic role players, and they won't get called bust. They just didn't live up to the expectation. And for me, I feel like guys like Andrea Bargnani, guys like even a guy like Dion Waiters, who I've heard some people say was a bust based on his time in the NBA, guys like that, guys like Marcus Smart, who was drafted in the lottery, but he's not an all-star level player, but he's a productive player for his team. He is important to his team in the way that they appreciate and they're willing to pay him. That doesn't make him a bust. Just because he's not a Hall of Fame level player, just because he's not an all-star level player, doesn't mean he's a bust. Just because some scouts misread what he was going to be in a league doesn't make him a bust. Another thing, in the Discord, if you guys didn't know, you should follow the Discord. If I'm not dropping no links or anything, you niggas should just be in there. There's a lot of talk of Lonzo being a bust, and that's not fair, because Lonzo's great at what he does. Is the fact that people put these expectations on him that aren't fair to his play style. And just because a player doesn't fit the mold of what today's NBA is, doesn't make him a bust, even because he's great at other things. Yes, he needs to grow. Yes, he needs to develop, but still, he's great at other things. Doesn't make him a bust. In that same draft, you have Josh Jackson and Jonathan Isaac. Those two guys, no one talks about them, and it's because they're actually bust. Those guys aren't producing. Now, Josh Jackson I like Josh. He's cool. Jonathan Isaac, I never watched him before he got into the league. I'm not watching him while he's in the league. You know, he's a bust. He's trash. I get he was injured this last year, but even when he does play, I'm not really seeing it. I mean, yeah, he's a cool defender. He's long, pause, but that's about it. With Josh Jackson, I mean, he's shown a little something, but I'm not really gonna say I'm not gonna call him a bust. That's the thing. I'm not really gonna call him a bust, but at the same time, people always call him a bust. There's a lot of people that love to call him a bust. Another guy that is putting this bust, and another matter of fact, let me speak on this. Another reason why I don't like saying why I go by production and not expectation is because when you look at a list of players that are bust, it's usually bums. Like you got, like I said, Kwame Brown, Anthony Bennett. You have guys like that are trash. When you put a guy like Andrea Bargnani in that category, that's not fair to him and what he's done in the league. I get it, he wasn't was he all-star? I don't think he was all-star. I get it, he wasn't a superstar level player. I get he wasn't an all-star player, but still, he was way better than Kwame Brown. He was way better than whatever Anthony Bennett has become or was. Those are actual busts. If you can't play in the league and you were drafted at high, cool, you're a bust. But if you actually shown that you can play, you just didn't live up to be a Hall of Fame level player, that doesn't make you a bust. I don't know. It's just something I like to think about. It's something I always think about because I'm into young guys. I'm in pause. Not like that. I'm into young players in NBA. I love watching young players grow and develop into their own, into their roles, and just become forces of nature in the league. But it's just not fair for a lot of guys to get dubbed as bust because they didn't live up to expectations that a scout put on them, or they didn't live up to the expectations that fans put on them. Instead of looking at what the team, I understand okay, let's look at it like this. A guy like Jabari Parker, because of injuries, he hasn't become the player that he's supposed to be, so the Bucks traded him. But does that make him a bust? Jabari's not a bust. I don't think he's a bust. Now, is he living up to the expectations that he had? No, and that's fair to say. But if you're going by that normal criteria of living up to expectations like a lot of people do, you would dub Jabari Parker a bust, which I feel is wrong. And I feel is unjust. I don't know. Just food for thought. While I have you here, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's watching. Thank you for everybody that supports my channel. Thank you for everybody that hits me up on the daily and just have basketball questions. If you want to ever talk about basketball, add me on Snapchat at Dom Church. Follow me on Twitter, DomChurch1. I have an Instagram. It's not really my Instagram is pretty funny. I feel like everyone should go check out my Instagram. It's Pure Rage 97. Until then, guys, I'll catch you later.